Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mickey Mouse here once again and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more of Let's Play of Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom. So yesterday, we have managed to able to wrap things up with 50cc in the Star Cup, and we managed to able to dominate everything on that specific cup, basically. And now, we're gonna be, today for this episode anyway, is the fact that we're about to get started with 100cc this time around. And because of that though, we need to go through all three of those cups yet again, except the difference is now, we're going to be selecting a different amount of players. So even then, let's get started with Koopa Troopa to start up with. And yes, you probably noticed there's actually a fourth cup down there. Well, in order to actually just unlock that specific cup, we need to go for those cups as you can see on screen again. But except this time around though, the only way you can only play through, the special cup in this game, you have to only play that cup in 100cc and 100 and, well, I'm not going to explain about that until later on for the later weekends and stuff like that. So for now on though, we'll have to mainly focusing on those three cups yet again. So as you probably doubted by now, is the fact that the differences between 50cc and 100cc is that I'm pretty sure you're actually going slightly faster compared to the forms of how it does it on, 50cc. Because until later on, though, on the other hand, though, then again, we'll point it out and during at some point in, I would say in 2 weeks' time potentially, because, well, specifically when it comes to weekends and stuff like that for that nature. So even then, yeah, let's get this thing to it. So as you can tell, we're going to be selecting Koopa Troopa for this point today. And the actual rival we always going to be compete against with is Luigi. So, not only how the fact that we're actually going to be having a rival with Koopa Troopa versus Luigi of all things, but it's just a little bit of a convenience that is. So, anyways though, so we've already seen these tracks before, ever since in 50cc run through. Although the noticeable things that we have not seen before is of course the Special Cup race that we'll get to that at some point in again during the informs of 2 weeks time, because as far as I'm aware for the actual weekend schedules. So, but regardless of such though, I will try my best if I was going to be aimed for first place in during the informs of 100cc's and all that stuff. So either way, yes, not much else we can really say about this for the most part though, apart from the fact that we pretty much at the halfway point while showing you guys every single racers at this point, because, well, after that though, well, we can able to actually, it doesn't matter which ones we're gonna able to pick from. So even then, there's not much else you can say about this basically. So, yeah, because today's day is the forms of the 12th of January in 2020, so there's not much else to talk about because of how the fact that, well, I'm pretty sure that Piglet and Daffy as well as Tiana has already explained about some of those stuff from the likes of how it does on the previous days ago. So there's not much else I can really just discuss upon everything until then again, until whenever we get to the Special Cup and stuff like that. I'd like to talk more details on that specific cup worth mentioning for this point, but not now though, because either way though, we've already just got started with 100cc and all that stuff. But you get the drill for this point. As far as Luigi's special item, as you can see, that he's actually going to be constantly going to be using his Invincibility Starman, which every time when he goes into likely second place or something like that, or maybe it's probably just me, because every time whenever I was trying to go closer to Luigi, he always attempted to activate his Starman ability right from the start as soon as I managed to slowly approach towards to him. So, not sure why how it usually happens, but either way though, we'll just have to accept this little factor for that point. So, but you probably get the drill for this point. So either way though, and I think Mario, as far as the actual rival competitor, as far as I'm aware, although then again, we'll point it out at some point in the next weekend, because then again, there's not much else you can really discuss upon. So for the most part, we're not doing so bad at this point, because it's pretty obvious is that Mushroom Cup was obviously the first and probably the easiest cup in the game, because, well, you know, just for starters, for practice for sake. I think normally for 50cc anyway, it's the fact that 50cc is considerably the easy mode of the game because, well, as long as you might as well get used to with the actual controls for a bit, and then as far as we're actually on to right now is 100cc, it means it's like some sort of a normal difficulty, but as far as the third and the final CC on the other hand, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. And now we return back to Ghost Valley 1, so I think to me, Koopa Troopa was actually probably is the best character to use in my opinion, just because, well, I just don't know what it is. I think it's probably because of how the fact that his turning wasn't nearly as like slippery or something like that, or maybe it's probably due to something else, but either way there's not much else to really compliment it all by itself. In fact, this might actually be the shortest video, by the way, just because this is on Mushroom Cup of any sorts. Oh yeah, at this point in time, it's the fact that whenever we get to Flower Cup, and especially noticeable with the Star Cup, as well as the Special Cup eventually, that there's going to be one of those moments where we get out to able to come across into ourselves into some failed attempts whenever we're able to actually come across into one of them, so... But either way, there's not much else I can really just try to discuss upon for this point, guys, because, well, apart from the fact that we still running out of news and updates or anything like that for this point, because I'm pretty sure we've already discussed upon the forms of several news updates or anything like that for the sake of time for the actual week so far. But you know, that's far from the case where it comes to the forms of some of those videos that we consistently uploaded for that specific time. And once again, we got ourselves a glorious 1-up, so kudos to that, kudos to that. So as far as everything else, as far as I'm aware, it's the fact that you probably already know is there's actually the moment in our channel so far is the fact that you actually noticed there was actually another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Let's Play that we did done is the London 2012 Olympic Games. Somehow that particular Let's Play, those videos are no longer there. Well, 2 of them exceptions, or just mainly the entirety of the Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games for our channel. That particular Let's Play is no longer there just because, well, we figured we might as well do a redo Let's Play of that game and during at the somewhat the closest time before we jump into Tokyo 2020, so I just want to give you a heads up at this point, guys, because I know that you guys may actually be looking forward to able to see the next new Let's Play coming up at some point during the forms of July 24th all the way up to, I would say, the 9th of August when the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games is getting itself its closing ceremony for that specific stage in time. But, then again, we'll discuss more on that later, so... Anyways, here we go, revisiting back to the forms of Bowser Castle 1. Easily the easiest, you know, in terms of Bowser Castle stages, easily straight off the bat, because, well, there wasn't any, thin paths or anything like that. The only time it's, like, kind of tricky, and that was the fact that if you utilize the speed boost, as you can see, if you accidentally bump into that edge of that wall, you will slow down for quite a bit. Well, luckily for all-around characters like Koopa Troopa or something like that, you can able to instantly get your speed back. However though, until whenever we're able to select Donkey Kong Jr. as well as Bowser of all things, I think those two might actually have a hard time when it comes to like picking the actual speed up, which we'll point it out and doing at some point in, you know, next weekend or something, so... But yeah, that's how it goes, basically. So anyways, let's go ahead and... Boom! There we go! We claim first place so far in 4 first places in a row. So, there goes. Not much else I can talk about this, other than the fact that we actually now got started with, you know, 100cc and stuff like that. So there's not much else I can, discuss on that point. And I think this will actually be the only time, alongside with the forms of, well, at some point in the future, that we can do Mario Kart 64, and probably not Super Circuit though, and probably Double Dash potentially, that we might actually gonna be seeing those tracks multiple times, except they're actually on the different classes and all that stuff, because unlike in our Let's Plays of, you know, Mario Kart DS, and as well as, Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7, and especially noticeable with Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that we most likely focusing on 150cc because, well, I think that most people seem to enjoy 150cc way more because of how fast and energetic that is, so I get the idea about that solution for this point. Hopefully whenever we get to Mario Kart Super Circuit at some point during, I would say in summer, then we can able to actually just classify for doing that. So, and as far as Mario Kart 64 goes, I think we're pretty much going to do that at some point in spring. So, as far as Mario Kart Double Dash, the last of the Mario Kart Let's Plays for our channel, well, we might as well do that in autumn through 2020. So, well, at least after we're done with, you know, specifically after finishing the forms of, let's just say Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, basically. So, that should be part of the plan, though, especially when, oh yeah, we need to do the actual Mario Party redo Let's Plays at some point in the future as well. So, hopefully we'll get those in time before, anything else will happen, basically. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and make our way for that little ramp here, and avoid any of those pipes before you're able to slow down, and we basically once again dominate this for the majority of the Mushroom Cup, so not bad for the second time in a row. But then again, until whenever we get to the later progressions when it comes to Flower Cup and the Star Cup, and especially noticeable with the, well, the Star, did I say Star Cup? I think so. And especially noticeable with the Special Cup that you do need to unlock. Although then again, I'll talk more on that until whenever we get to the actual next discussion and during the forms of next weekend. So that's as far as that's usually how it goes, basically. So there we go, that pretty much takes care of the forms of the Mushroom Cup in 100cc, and I should probably say this right now, we got the endings off here, so join me until next Saturday on more of Let's Play of Super Mario Kart. Is the fact that we are about to be continuing things on in 100cc, but except this time we are now going to be revisiting to the Flower Cup, so see you guys next weekend. Later, fellas.